Mm.
Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome along to another Facebook Live. It's myself, Bruce Ross, along with Chris and Mike, Chris Shearer, and he's the other gentleman you see here. And Mike couldn't be with us today, but we have his ongoing support. Today, I'll put together something a little bit controversial because I'm saying that there is only one place to start looking inside your business. It is the place you need to start looking at every issue, any area. It is the only place. Hopefully the title of it caught your attention, and I need to explain what it is I'm talking about. The reason we're going into all this is that we are dead set on inverting what we believe are insights or trainings you may have received which don't work. We're all around business success without the pain. What we mean by pain, psychological pain of overwhelm, stress, discomfort, indecision, procrastination. Though that's one of the areas of pain that we no longer believe should be inside business, and so there are certain understandings you need to have. So let's kick into this. You face problems. Next slide there, Chris. There we go. You face problems. Now, these problems could be anything. They could be on the business side. They could be on the people side. Your productivity is low. Your profits are plateauing. Any issue, any area, this is what you need to start looking at first. And if you look at the symptoms of these problems, there's going to be no surprises here. So it could be that your team is experiencing these issues: inconsistency in productivity, overwhelm. Your team is unengaged. You're unengaged. You feel overwhelmed. So next slide, Chris. If you face these on a day-to-day basis, you go, heck, where do I start? Company's not working well. All right, we need to change the culture. We need to look at the vision, the values, the mission. No. Okay. Well, things aren't working. We've got to look at what's not working, and we've got to do the fixes. We've got to fix those areas up and get them coordinated, get our manual of operations. No. What? Well, there are problems. We've got to do a root cause analysis. We've got to do a needs analysis. No. Well, we've got a list of all these things to do. To start with the top priority. No. None of these things are the place that you start. And I'm going to give you a clue. Next slide, Chris. To start. And quite a long time ago, I heard that you need three things to be successful in business. You need time, energy, and the ability to think. Now, the clue is inside this. You've probably already guessed it, but let's just work it through, because there's a natural priority in this list. Then you can't think.
Whoops, Bruce, you cut out there for just a sec. What did you say before you can't think?
Okay. If your energy level is low, you can't think, or your thinking is minimal. You can't have what I call quality thinking. If you've got the time and the energy, great, because you can use your energy to be productive inside the time that you have. So the point that I'm making here is the natural prioritization of within this list is energy. Energy is the first place to look. What is that? Well, we believe that at the very core of leadership is in fact energy. And as you're sitting there, you may think, well, so what? I get it that if my energy levels are high, I'm going to be more productive. If my energy levels are low, less productive. But what most people miss is that when your energy levels are high, your thinking does this. You become more confident, more robust, more giving, more thinking about the we. You can see things from a 360-degree perspective. You're more courageous. You're more robust. We're at the best of ourselves when we have higher energy. We become more fragile, more blamey, more withdrawn, more self-obsessed. We're not in the best of ourselves. And so it's crucial that you as a business leader, business owner, have high energy levels. Excuse me. Not only just for your self and well-being, but also for your team. So let's go into this a little bit more. Next slide. Wouldn't have been such a big issue, but in today's world, there are causes of leakage all over the place. We live in what's called a VUCA world, V-U-C-A, volatile, uncertain, complex, or complicated, and ambiguous. And the backdrop of our lives, this is what's going on. And as you look at it and you feel distressed, feel worried, that's leakage. And then you come to work and you're looking to produce a productive day and you want high energy levels, but there are all these leakages that are going on, not just for you, but also for your staff. So this area of energy is crucial in today's world. And let's look at the symptoms if you don't address it. So you'd feel it physically at exhaustion or burnout. Psychologically, it hits harder. There's a whole fragility thing, sense of blame or self-doubt or indecision. Your confidence can drop. Commercially, it's seen as you avoid risk, or you can't think into an area, so you withdraw. Or things are happening out there, like there could be some sort of volatility, and it causes people to be transfixed. They stop, as opposed through with high energy levels as to what to do next. You observe it within your company as inaction. So strategies aren't being implemented. There's leaky leaky proactivity. It's one of the things that when we have low energy, we just withdraw. And then personally, this may seem a bit extreme, but this is the reality, that if our energy, the way it works is high energy
Hey, Bruce.
which is low energy level, and then you take it to an extreme. It's
Bruce, sorry, I'm not sure if it's my end or your end, but it cut off where you started to talk about high energy.
Okay.
You kind of froze there for a second.
So do you want me to go through the whole slide?
No. Just go through. Just talk about. You're on the last item personally,
okay.
And you talked about high energy.
Okay, so you start with high energy, which is great. You feel ease. As your energy drops, you feel discomfort. Then you feel dis-ease into disease if your energy down for a long period of time. So this area of energy management, rebalancing, getting your energy levels back up is actually crucial, not just for your own sense of well-being, but also for the people around you. Let's go to the next slide, Chris. So opening up this conversation around energy. See, the key thing here is, next point, is that your team takes their energy cue from you. So think about it this way, that when you're a young child, you looked across and you saw your mum was in a good mood. You went, great, mum's in a good mood. Your energy lifted. You looked across, mum's in a bad mood. Ooh, your energy level drops. Same thing too with your team. Take their energetic cue. What I'd like you to do is to relabel, reprioritize how you see yourself within the organization. And that is to see yourself as a CEO, Chief Energy Officer. Because the most important thing to consider is the natural flow of things is that your staff suck your energy. Children's job is to suck the energy of their parents. And so it's a natural flow that they want your energy, time, effort, money, attention, answering problems. That's the natural flow of things. So you must be able to top up to be able to give out. And therefore, if you think of yourself as the Chief Energy Officer, it's an accurate descriptor. Next point. A way to consider this, the practicality of this, is that to ask yourself, what is the energy level of your staff when they leave your meetings? Because if the energy level is lower than they walked in, you've just robbed your team and your company of the ability to think clearly and to be productive. Most business meetings, people leave and their energy level is much lower. There's a whole conversation we need to have around meetings, but this is a basic concept. Look to see the level of energy of the people leaving. And I home. You may go, nah, that's not my job. But in fact, the quality that they experience of energy uplift at work has a direct impact on how they live outside of work and what goes on in those areas. And this is why you consider the likes of Google have got a whole range from childcare to providing food and a whole range of other things, is to keep energy levels high because they want their people to be the most productive. Next point is to reassess the contribution and energy triggers. That is, next point, Chris, within yourself. So what triggers raise energy? What triggers lower energy? And what I think what you'll find is, as you start to become a little bit more forensic in this, there'll be certain thought processes that take energy level up and certain that take level down. This is called awareness, competencies that a leader needs. Now, also within your organization, what is it that raises the energy? What is it that lowers the energy? So important. So, next point is the job of a leader is to conduct energy. Conduct as in an orchestra, but also conduct as an energy in, energy out. Your job is to give energy. Your job is not to harness your people, but to conduct their energy. Chris, I've rattled through this. Is there anything you'd like to say before I get on to the last part of this presentation?
Yeah, I would just highlight for people that it's easy to read all of this and think, wow, those are great ideas. Let's go do it. I've seen it in action, and I've seen people respond extraordinarily positively to this. And there is a method to it, right? So there's a process that it involves. And Bruce he's really nailed it. So I was just let people know that there's a way to go through all this stuff, and we'll talk about that a little bit later, how to kind of get access to that.
Yeah, sure. Excellent. Thanks, Chris. Okay, so let's take it a little bit further. So if there was a grid from 1 to 5, low is 1, high is, if your energy level is a 1, it's what we call defeated and uncaring, miserable, detached, lethargic, chronic fatigue fits into this level. You don't want to be here. Next level is, and I've got a fuller description here. This is the breakdown. Breakdown here, we're talking about nervous breakdown. We're talking about immune system breakdown. You don't want to be down here either. This is the distressed, morbid, overwhelmed, fragile, erratic, unpleasant. So not a good place. You don't want to be down here, or if you are, not for a long period of time. Next level, survival. This is just getting through the day. This is just barely having enough energy to think about what's in front of you. And that's what you're doing, is simply focusing. You don't have any room in your thinking to consider innovation, proactivity, additional discretionary effort. You don't have anything to give. And this is where it's what's called presenteeism, where someone's present but they're absent. Next level. So here we're starting to move up, and these are the realms that you really want to be in. In fact, these are the essential realms you need to be in as a leader, because if you're not giving energy, people don't want to be around you. So the responsive, this is the interested, optimistic. You're able to consider things, so you are responsive. Have the tools, the understandings. You about to say something there, Chris?
No, you're cut out for a second. You're okay, though. We got
okay. So this next level, level 5, is the one that we are interested in. This is where you have business success without the pain. So most people in most of their lives live 3 and lower. This may sound a bit extreme, but there's understandings, and I'm not going to go into it now, but this is the reality because of the uncertainty of the world that we live in and the difficulty and overwhelm that we pretty much face all the time. This is the place you want to be. This is where life feels good, and this is where you do have business success without the pain. So as a final, before we round out and close out, is that you can ask someone what's their energy level out of 5, and this will give you predictable behaviors. If it's a 2, you'll know how they are performing. If it's a 4, that's where you want. But your job as a leader is to become versatile in the ability to lift people's energy, your own, and also those around you. So, last slide in terms of explanation. This is where we introduce, you'll understand now, our philosophy around the freedom framework. So you look and say, okay, my ultimate business outcome, I've heard that before. But this whole concept of mindset at the core of business, absolutely, because what's at the core of mindset? Energy. Low energy, a mindset which says I can't. High energy, mindset that says absolutely we can do this and it's not going to be painful. And that's why mindset is to do with how we think about anything, and that just it permeates every area of business, which is why the very first place to start is energy. Look at yourself first, because when you have high energy, it makes everything easier. Next slide. Okay, so where are the energy leakages? This is a new way of looking at your business, looking at your relationships, looking at your life. Because if you look at anywhere that there's energy leakage, that's where you need to focus. Now, it comes down to if energy levels are high, we can fix this. So a conversation that's not working well, politics, processes that aren't working well, these are all energy leakages. You need to plug those holes. So number one, increase your awareness of energy. Start looking at your business through the goggles, through the glasses of energy up, energy leakage, and raise the energy, because when you raise the energy, everything gets easier. So recommendation from here is, the big question is, well, how do you go about this? How do you shift people's energy level? Great. Love to talk about that stuff. That's what life as a leader is all about. So let's talk. Chris, hand it over to you.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, I'll just bring it, and Mike, thanks for joining. Mike snuck in on us there, so I appreciate you. Looks like you got an opening in your schedule there. But I just want to reiterate to people that this is, in some ways, it truly is magical when you know and understand or have seen the process to get somebody to shift their energy from that, that level 2 or that level 3, and just continue to raise it to that point, that level 4 that Bruce was talking about. Something switches in their thinking and their mindset, and the approach is totally different. I've watched it happen. It's when people see it, they want more and more and more of it, and that's the reason to talk, right? So really, what we're saying is, with each of these sessions, if this interests you, if you feel like you have an opportunity to improve here, send us a message. Send a message to Bruce or to me on Facebook. You can always email me at chrisshear@cofocusmi.com. And then again, we're at the moment we're offering our success score. Mike developed this diagnostic assessment, which is it's been researched, it's proven. It was actually researched with the Baldrige Alliance, and you can go ahead and take the success score. Just put my name in as your business coach. It'll notify us, and we'll schedule time to review it with you. But it's a great way of getting an objective understanding of where you are with your company or your business, and gives a starting point to have that conversation with you. We highly recommend it. It's completely objective. And look, having a conversation about where you are is the first step in this whole process, to listen to you, see what's going on. And this, we think, is the best way of going about it. I don't know if anybody wanted to add anything to that, but I just think it's really exciting to sit down and talk to somebody and hear more.
Yeah, and don't forget, they get a 25-page report that measures their organization in 6 of the Baldrige or the Freedom Framework dimensions. So it's going to be very insightful, and then combined with having a conversation with one of us, it's going to be a great conversation.
Excellent. Bruce, yeah, this is great. Thank you so much for pulling this together, and we want to hear from you guys. So reach out. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.